This Guy, That Guy Nation, another episode. How you doing there, Joe?
I'm doing fantastic, Anthony. Been having a great day. Went out and had a few beers before I got here, so I'm sure it's going to be quite an entertaining afternoon. That's all I got to say.
Oh, well, congratulations. I'm glad you got off early. That you
I did.
Can go and have a few drinks.
I did. I had some Miller Lite. I had several of them. Had an entertaining afternoon with a group of coworkers.
Okay.
Plotting and planning the takeover of a new universe. So
there you go.
So.
Well, you don't have to stop now. There's Miller Lights right there.
I see they're over there.
Someone can hand you one.
Well,
We don't want you to stop now.
Go right ahead and have the little bitch get me one.
Yeah,
So
there
we
you
need
go.
a beer sauce, a beer bitch. Why don't you hand me one of them there Miller Lights right there? We'll just keep the flow going, right?
You can hand me one too. I'll have one with him.
Whoa!
That's all I'll have is just the one.
I don't want you to get a headache or anything like that, but I like how you think. Thank you very much. We may as well advertise a little bit of This Guy, That Guy Nation and drinking a Miller Lite. And we just had ourselves a fountain.
All right.
A little bit of foam.
I did.
Check this out. Did you shake it before you handed it to me?
What's going on here? We'll need a rag.
You know, you can't even have a good beer bitch anymore.
We'll need a rag now. If you can give us a rag, that'd be great.
Jump up and get a towel, you little bitch, because I gotta tell you, we've just gone to shit.
Well, so I had been waiting for this next episode we were doing. I wanted to talk to you about, I listen in the morning on the radio, and they do this thing called Second Date Update.
Really?
Yes.
Second date, like you're gonna go out with some blonde
So
or brunette,
so you had a first date with somebody, and
but you're married.
no, not me. Yes, people have a first date, and then they don't get the invite for a second date, and they call the radio station. The radio station then calls that person to try to see why they did the second date. Can they coerce them into doing a second date, or what was? So it's always very, very entertaining. And but this one stood out to me a little more than the others. So the gentleman took this girl out to average dinner. And on the average dinner, they were talking, and then he was talking about how he would like to
Thank you, Jamie.
hike the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, no way! I know a little bit about that.
Okay, good. And then we can parlay that in. But he was saying how he would like to hike the Appalachian Mountains, and she did not say it, but it was at that point she knew she would not want a second date with him, because that she is what she considered. Let me look at the wording here on my phone here. A high value woman.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
High value.
And a man that dates a high value woman would not want to take his date on a hike up the Appalachian Mountains. A man that dates a high value woman buys a suite to a Dallas Mavericks game or a Dallas Cowboy game.
Yeah.
That would put him in the category to date a high value woman.
Huh.
Now, I'm
ignorant to all of this.
Me as well. That's why I'm bringing it up. I did not know there was the classifications of when you're dating, you're a high value person and someone is not a high value person.
Well, who justifies this?
That was one of the questions, and she just says that she classifies herself as a high value woman.
And that's why she's single today.
Yes, I'm assuming that's going to be. I'm going to assume that's why she's going out on first dates and maybe not getting a second date, even though this guy wanted a second date, and he even tried a little harder to get that second date, even after she told him she was a high value woman and that she has zero interest in hiking the Appalachian Mountains.
But I bet you any money that if he said to her, let's go to the Swiss Alps and we're just going to hang out,
Yes.
she would have been all over him.
Yes. Yes.
And if he would have said, you know what, let's go down and see the Mayan ruins,
Right.
she'd have been all over it.
Right.
So, but because he said the Appalachian Trail, the
Yes.
mountains,
Mountains.
oh no, we can't do that.
We can't do that. That's beneath me.
No.
So
He's better off.
He actually
He came out on top.
He did come out on top, and everybody that called after that and said, "Dude, you escaped the good one. Don't worry. You got lucky. Don't worry about her.
Lucky is right.
You didn't want that one. You might think you did, but you didn't want that one." So
see, this is the crazy thing. I am glad that I am attached and don't have to go through that.
in marriage, yes.
If I didn't say, I went drinking prior to coming here,
Mm-hmm.
and I show up at this establishment at 2:57.
Congratulations.
They do not start serving till 3.
Okay.
So
they made you wait the 3 minutes?
well, there were so many drunks that showed up.
Oh.
The guy's like, there are so many drunks here, I'll start taking your orders.
Perfect.
I said, wonderful establishment, we'll go back. It's called the Truck Yard, it's in Keller. Great time, air-conditioned building, you can sit outside if you want.
They just finally added TVs to it.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't like it because in the beginning they had no TVs for ambiance, and like right now today there's a lot of baseball on.
Yep.
And I would love that. The Truck Yards is a very nice. Their Truck Yards in the Colony is their original, and it is fantastic.
Really, never been there.
It is 10 times better than the one over here in the Lions.
They have a lot of different trucks for the food. For those that don't know, it's a food truck yard.
Yeah.
And they've got an indoor bar and things like that.
And fire pits,
Yeah.
cornhole. The one in the Lions has a little Ferris wheel that comes out of a suitcase that you pack up in a suitcase and you take it home and you set it back up. Don't recommend going on it, but if you want to,
it's a little shaky. If you've ever seen the movie where you got the carnies out there, that's kind of what everybody.
But it's a little worse than even a carny one. This one is definitely.
It's like the one with David Spade, and he was standing out there, and he was all about being in the carnival, and he was so happy that he got the tilt-a-whirl and did his thing while he was looking for his mom and his papa. Great movie, great times. But I got to tell you, this place. Met the manager. Manager comes over. He starts visiting with us, and this guy is a flat Earth person. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a flat earther is?
Is that a person that thinks it's flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is messed up, man. So
it's okay.
you know me. Right away, I jumped in. I had to jump on this.
I don't even know if it's worth it. I don't even know if it's worth getting into a conversation with someone that thinks that.
I did. I got right into it, and the people that I were with are like, "This is." They told the manager, "Why did you do this?
Right?
Why do you even want to have?" I said, "I want to talk to him."
Right.
And so I told him that I was all in.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, landing on the moon was just fake.
Right.
I said, they totally did that, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the guy was eating it up.
Oh yeah.
And
he had one of his own cronies now. He met one of his people.
Oh, he did.
But
you're
faking the funk.
Oh yeah, I was.
He really believes this.
I was into it. I was totally down, and I said, Christopher Columbus had it all wrong.
Right.
Actually, the people from Italy said that you're just going to go along, you're going to drop off.
Yeah.
I said, they knew that back then.
Yeah.
And these guys taking pictures from outer space, why don't they have any satellites?
Right.
Why aren't there pictures of satellites going around there?
Right.
It's just one picture of a round, perfect ball.
Yeah.
And this guy was eating it up. And then, so I had to throw him a little bone. I had to go in there and say, hey, how is it that Elon Musk can launch this thing out into space, and why isn't the government helping him out? Why aren't they giving him some sort of subsidy? Why are they fighting the guy? Because they don't want anyone else to know that the Earth is flat.
Right.
That's why they're not helping this guy.
Right.
And this guy just went bananas.
I hope he bought you a drink.
He did. He's
Shut
like,
up.
He says, I'm gonna get you guys around. He says, I love talking to you. He says, normally I don't come around and do these table talks. He called them table talks. And I says, well, you should do more table talks. He said, you'd meet interesting people like me.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, it was fantastic. So I started messing with him. Of course, because I got to do that. So I asked him a question. I said, we had a hurricane go through down there in North Carolina and all that, and it kind of flooded everything and went into the mountains, Appalachian Mountains, flooded everything out. Now, I said, if our government is so great and we can go to the moon and we can do all of these things, we can send little robots off, little transformer vehicles to Mars, and they can send pictures back and all this stuff. Oh, why doesn't the satellites transmit phones service for all these poor people down there?
Right.
Why is it that I have to have a cell tower? And I told the guys, because it's a government thing. Mm-hmm. I was into this.
Yeah.
I literally put on the tinfoil and I went crazy.
There you go.
And this guy was eating it up. There's some psycho people out there, dude.
Oh yeah.
This guy was on board.
Yeah.
And he was, and then I got to talking to him. I said, so where are you from? Because I said, you ain't from around here. I'm from Ohio.
Oh, jeez.
So I got to hear all about his kinfolk in Ohio, how he was raised, how he got down here to Texas.
Do they have cornfields there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet he lived his good life in that cornfield. That's a little boy right there.
It was absolutely amazing. So he's down here. So at the end of our conversation,
he leaves Ohio and lands in Fort Worth.
He did.
Why did he land in Dallas?
Well, he ended up here, and that dumb son of a bitch, he offered me a job. He says, you looking for a job? I says, well, I can go around and do table talk.
I want a job.
I wanted to go do that. I said, I'll go do table talk.
Yeah.
I said, do I have to serve beer or anything like that? He says, no. Oh, you pay me just to go around and talk to people? He said, yeah. I said, well, I wouldn't be annoying? He said, no, not at all. He says, you got it. He says, I need you here working for me. I said, you been drinking?
That's some bitch.
I said, have you been drinking? And the people I were with are like, you ain't going to quit and go work for this guy. I said, well, I don't know. If he pays me the right amount of money, I'll go do this. Sheesh. I'll go drink a few beers and talk with people all day long.
Yeah.
I like this idea. It is messed up.
Oh my
It
goodness.
is totally messed up. This is the world that we're living in.
I have no words for this guy. I don't know what to say. I mean, you might cancel this podcast early. There's some silly shit there. Let me tell you.
No, this was just today. This isn't the stuff that's gone on all week.
A lot of people think that, just real quick, a lot of people think that Christopher Columbus's boat was big.
No!
It's a little freaking dinghy.
Yeah, it was a rowboat. It wasn't very big.
It's a dinghy.
Yeah, it was not big. No, it was tiny. Oh.
He's the people that think it's big, and you need to go see it, and you go, hey, it's a little dinghy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was total nuts, because he says, so he asked me what I did today, and I says, well, I was walking down the hall, and this person said, you gotta get a flu shot. He says, you didn't get a flu shot, did you? I said, oh yeah. I says, it's mandatory. He says, so they make you get a flu shot? I says, yeah. So how does that work? I says, well, I went into the office. The nurse is in there, and she says, sit down. Did you fill out all your stuff? I said, yep. She says, okay, I'm going to give you this vaccine. I says, well, you're giving me the flu. And she says, well, no, I'm giving you a vaccine. I says, but the vaccine is the flu, right? And she says, well, technically. I says, so you're giving me the flu. So you're going to shoot me up right now and give me the flu. So here in about a couple hours, I'm going to start feeling lousy.
Right.
So because of that, I decided I'd leave early and go over to this truck yard and have a few beers. Because if I'm going to feel lousy, I may as well feel lousy because I was drinking beer.
There you go.
And not because you just gave me the flu.
Right.
Well, this cat, the flat earth guy, why would you let him inject you with the flu? I said, so you don't believe in vaccines? Oh, no. I said, really? Nope. Nothing to do with that. I said, have you ever had the flu? Oh, yeah. You ever have COVID? It's not real. I said, oh, okay. Well, why is it not real? Because the only way you know is if you take that test. I said, oh, very good. I said, so all I know is that I've only had the flu. I said, well, good for you.
How did you get the flu? You could have a cold.
Yep.
A severe cold.
Yep. As far as I'm concerned, he was sick. People get sick.
People get sick. You're
People
right.
just get sick, and that's just how it was. So,
Yep.
so this flat earther, he was quite the character. He bought a couple rounds. We had a great time. And then I decided to come over here and shoot the shit with your ass.
Well, then you know what? You playing a nice little game of round robin with the flat earther guy.
I was.
It paid off because you got 2 free drinks.
Yes, I did.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep, and it was a
that
good
was
time.
Good job for you on your part.
And there was air conditioning because it's a little warm out, and it's not no 105, but it was still warm.
It was warm.
It was warm today, so I figured, you know.
But cool all morning. Cool all morning.
Oh.
The mornings are nice and the evenings are nice.
Yep. Our afternoon's a little warm yet.
Yeah.
So
High 80s tomorrow.
yeah, we've had a little baseball.
We had a little baseball.
Yeah,
with
we've
the
had a
kids,
little
yeah.
baseball with these little rats.
This
so-
guy, that guy, been playing a lot.
Yep.
They're playing good.
Yep.
Team's playing good.
Yep.
Uh,
So they're playing up
coaches.
though.
yeah,
Age
they're,
up.
they're always playing up right now. Yeah,
They're playing some age up. They're
Mhm.
playing some 17-year-olds.
some 18-year-olds.
Yeah. So it's amazing to me. Just let's just digress right into that.
Yeah, you're not digressing.
I just am blown away by the chicken brains of 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and we can just roll it on up to 18-year-olds.
Sure.
These 18-year-olds that are out there playing, these 15-year-olds, they act like they're 13,
Yeah.
but they're 18.
Right.
And what was the hell going on with the guy at bat, and he was jumping around like the Pandu Kung Fu
Yeah.
dude?
The Juan Soto dance.
Is that what that's called? I have no idea
The
what that's
Juan
called.
Soto shuffle, I think, is the exact name of it. I'm not 100% sure. But
Yeah.
I think
Is
so.
that just
Yeah,
messed
that's-
up to you?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's-
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he did not skip a meal.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and,
Mhm.
and I got to tell you, he had the moves.
Yeah, Juan Soto does that in the bigs when he gets a pitch and he slides forward. But Juan Soto's in the big leagues.
But this dumb shit struck out twice.
Yes, he did.
he struck out.
I don't think Juan Soto's doing the shuffle when he's striking that.
Well-
It's more of a when Juan Soto's going to walk, I think.
I had no idea, but I gotta say, sitting there, it was entertaining.
Sure.
And the strange thing was, at that field, I don't think I've ever been that close to home plate as a spectator.
Yeah, we were sitting in on the women's line because I was doing some stuff, some recording and footage and stuff.
But we were as close to the umpire and the catcher and the batter as I've ever been.
There was no backspace behind the catcher.
No. And anything that you said, they heard.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, you couldn't whisper or anything like that.
No.
If you called that guy's mother something, you know, I mean, he would have heard you. You know.
Well, he was decent.
He was fun. He took it all in stride and had fun with it as well, and let us know that he could hear us talking and stuff.
He was
Which
decent.
good. Which was good.
Now the jackass that we had the other day at the other field,
Yeah.
the old dude.
Yeah. The guy that's trying to run it like a military
Yeah,
program.
he wanted everybody to salute. You're right.
Yeah.
I was not impressed with him at all, and it's almost militant. You're going to get extremists, and I understand that this is a difficult. It's difficult to be an umpire.
It is.
I did basketball forever. I get it. I totally get
It's
it.
the parents' fault because they have
it
taken it
is.
to the extreme, right? But I mean, some parents just use it as a joking method.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess he doesn't know when people are joking or when they're not joking, and so they're all just butthurt and always on edge, and they shouldn't be.
So the thing is
have thick skin.
You told me something about this guy, and you basically you could sniff it out long before you even talked to him.
Yeah.
You had this power. It was almost like it was as if you had Superman powers.
Yeah.
You looked at this guy behind the plate, and you knew he was a douchebag.
Yeah. Don't worry. It was it's not a superpower. It was the broom that was stuck up his ass, and it was dangling down below, and I happened just to glance and see it.
I'm giving you too much credit because I swear to God, you said this that he's just a douchebag, and I'm like, no, he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
Well, then his mannerisms and his attitude and his strike zone and his ability to be such a dumbass during the whole game was, and then that shitbag ends up out in the field.
Yeah.
So he had to play his antics out in the field. And tell me again, so someone yelled balk.
Yeah.
And there was a puddle of piss and a puddle of tears on the mound by the pitcher.
Yes.
And this jackass fell for it.
He
fell for it.
So everybody scores. Well, the guy on third scores because the guy on first was stealing and he boxed to go to first. And so the guy goes to second. The guy from third scores home. The pitcher complains.
No, he cried.
Yeah,
he was whining and complaining.
I'm trying to be nice.
You don't have to be. It's the truth.
So the umpires gathered together and said, we're going to do a do-over. That wasn't fair. Someone yelled balk, and it wasn't a balk, and we should that should happen to him. And once again, this is 18-year-olds playing 15-year-olds.
And they lost terribly to the 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
15-4 or something. Yeah, it was insane. So it's interesting to watch the chicken brains from a 14, 15-year-old standpoint all the way up to 18. So it just gives me hope that I'm going to be living in the same existence that I'm living in now until they're 18.
Yep.
And then you just reaffirmed it again because you have a 21-year-old and they still continue to do the same shit.
That's it.
So I am happy to report I'm going to have this for much longer.
It's part of baseball. That's what they do.
It is absolutely bananas.
Yes.
It's absolutely bananas how this goes.
Yeah.
So what else has been going on in your existence? So you've been riding your bike, I see.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I ride, come home from
You're trying to get healthy?
And I ride between 6 and 10 miles.
Yeah.
Do a little ab roller action.
All right.
Use that little vibrator machine.
So that's the thing. So I don't like it how you say that.
What do you want to call it?
Does
it have a name?
So when you pounce on, I use a vibrator. It's kind of weird.
What is it called?
I don't know.
What does it do?
An exercising vibrator.
What does it do?
It is not a pleasurable toy.
It vibrates your feet and your body.
You stand on it.
And matter of fact, if you have any fat, the fat would jiggle wherever you are, like this. And
does it jiggle your taint zone too?
You know, I stand up, I sit down, and I use it for 10 minutes.
You didn't answer my question.
No, it's not. My buttocks is freaking hard.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. There's muscles.
Oh, good. I'm so happy for you. So you've been trying to get into this healthy mode.
I'm trying to live, I'm trying to eat less and burn more calories to, help me lose some weight.
So that's why we're sitting here drinking Miller Lite tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
You're riding an extra 50 miles?
I'm down 15 pounds, but I think I'm on a plateau right now. I've been stuck there.
All right. So don't lose your shit.
No. I didn't go into this saying it was going to happen, overnight. I went into it saying I'm on a 1-year program.
And you said that you preached it. You said it's a lifestyle change.
That's correct. It's not diet. It's not diet.
I liked how you said that. You said lifestyle change. I think that that's very important.
Because I'll tell you, I've always been a believer in you didn't put the fat on in one day. You can't get it off in one day. You know what I mean? So you just got to be careful on what you are. You know, there is the. I know everybody wants to preach through these movie stars and all that other stuff, but you know there is no get skinny trick. You can't take pills. There's no magic to it. The magic is
there's Ozempic. You can just do injections of Ozempic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But that's expensive. That's $900 a month.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't have $900 a month.
And then and then I always wonder your body's a smart machine, right?
Yeah.
If you kind of you put on your weight, say over a year, right? And then you try to take it off over a year, right? I would think your body would stretch back to normal, like it stretched out when you gained it, right? But when you try to go fast, a bunch of weight in 1 month, then it becomes flab, and now you can't get rid of it.
So then they want to carve it off.
Now you have to cut it off of you, and then you have to do
bacon.
Yeah, right? Yeah, next thing you know.
Well, God bless us.
Yeah, right?
God bless America.
You gotta, we're living in crazy times right now. We were talking about that. You had this Diddy situation.
Oh,
going
God,
on.
yes.
And it's something, it was funny today because it seems like it's never going to go away because it's like there's something new every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, can it really be this big? Because and there's something new every day, or you really got to be careful what you fact check. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is bananas of how much the new news keeps coming out about it. Yeah. And all in all, what are they saying? That they're trying to hide the fact that 23andMe lost 7 million people's DNA, and the board of directors and the CEO all left, quit overnight, and no one saw it.
No, nothing happened here.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see
Shiny
here.
object here.
Right. Yes.
You're right.
And that 23andMe is probably the biggest thing out there that they got hacked.
Yeah.
Because you would think as a company like that, you only have one purpose in life, and that is to store data.
Yeah. You're
right.
My DNA.
Yeah.
Because I did it. I had my.
Oh, you did it. So yeah, I think my wife. I did not.
I did it.
I was not playing that circus game.
Well, I figured, what the hell? What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
So they're gonna.
But now they're cloning the sheep.
Well, that's okay.
You know what I mean? So
I would love to have a few more of me running.
Well, I don't need a sheep running around with Joe's face.
Well, you can
have, trying to eat my lawn.
I think that I would love to have. I'd love to be one of those, those mythical characters that has the torso of myself and then the ass end of a jackass.
Sure, yeah.
Running around the. Oh, look at me!
Look at me!
You never know.
You never know.
But we are living in some biblical times.
No, yes, that's.
We are living in some biblical times, and we are in desperate times when you start having crazy stuff like P. Diddy. See, I never bought into any of that nonsense. I think that y'all in Hollywood, you make your movies, do them well, entertain me, and that's about the end of it.
Yeah.
And in sports, we lost a legend. We lost Pete Rose.
Yes.
I mean, I grew up with Pete Rose. I grew up watching him. With Johnny Bench and Sparky Anderson, and that whole era of time watching baseball for me, that's the culmination of how I learned baseball and what I really liked about it.
Right.
So him passing away now, controversially, did he bet on baseball? He totally bet on baseball.
He totally did. But you know what? In his small defense, small.
Yep.
Well, at least he bet to win.
That's right.
He never bet against them.
No, he did not.
And that's to me that's crucial.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to dive into that and say, "Oh, you bet," let's check who you're betting to win, because if you bet to lose, then yes, you can be considered a Black Sox because you can throw a game.
That's right.
But when you're betting to win, you're betting all your marbles that you have the best team on the field.
And he never, and that wasn't the only thing he was betting on. He had a gambling problem.
Yes.
He was betting on everything.
Right.
Just like a lot of other athletes and a lot of other humanity.
Right.
They bet on a lot of things. And I get why they had to do what they had to do. And that's fine. So I saw a video today of Pete Rose talking about after I die, do I need to be in the Hall of Fame? And he said, no. I don't want to be in the Hall of
Right.
Fame.
If I can't go to live.
Yeah. He said, the Hall of Fame is for my family, it's for my team, it's for my teammates to recognize me.
Right.
But I'm not here anymore.
So now
I'm
I can't
dead.
see that. Yes.
So why do I even need to be in it?
Right.
And I don't blame him.
Right.
You know, and if they do it because he's no longer alive, I can live without it. His record stands alone. His ability stands alone. His persistence, his ability to go out there and play at the level that he played at every game,
Yeah.
stands.
Yep.
And to manage the same way as he played.
Right. Matter of fact, they did an interview with him. I think it was last year, and they said, if you were playing baseball today, what do you think your batting average would be? And he says, I don't know, 190, 200. And the guy interviewing him says, oh, the pitching's that good? He goes, no, dumbass, I'm 82.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great.
That is. It's true.
That's great.
You know, if I was 30,
Yes.
I was 25.
Yes.
If I was 18, it'd be a lot higher.
Right.
Yeah. No, he's a class act. I enjoyed him watching them play, watching those series. And we didn't hear about all the nonsense that went on behind the scenes of them drinking or carrying on. Nobody talked about shit like that.
Well, if you now that you bring that up, then now you forced me. Babe Ruth was not a good guy.
No, he wasn't.
He beat women.
Yeah.
He freaking was a drunk.
Yeah.
I mean everything.
Yeah.
And no one's complaining about him being a freaking woman abuser, and that's the low of the low.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's lower than freaking gambling in my eyes.
And he's the babe.
And he's the babe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody still glorifies him.
Yeah. But that's 1928.
Oh, so I'm sorry, it was allowed back then. Oh, my bad.
But that was the era.
Yes, I know.
This is what we're going to do.
I get you. Yes.
But and he didn't do a lot other than that.
Yes.
I mean, he made some commercials and lived a good life.
Yeah.
And they did. I saw.
He didn't even ride with the team on the trains. I mean, he rode in the back by himself. Drinking.
See, I saw a documentary recently of his house.
Okay.
And the amount of money that he made back in the 20s and 30s was staggering amounts of money. But the Ruth Manor it's abandoned.
Yeah.
This guy just kind of went through it and said, hey, yeah, look at here, look at this, look at that. And you know, I'm sure back in the 20s and 30s it was very impressive, but you know, it's just an abandoned old house.
Right.
You know, it's just like, you know, his ability to play baseball and what he did for baseball was impressive at the time because he brought it forward.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, wow. And it was a pastime.
Gotcha.
It was a pastime. I think baseball still is a pastime. I don't like the business aspect of baseball, but I liked people loyal to their teams. I liked Pete Rose being loyal to the Reds. I liked Reggie Jackson was loyal to his teams. He was, you know, when he was with the Oakland A's and when he was with, you know, New York. I mean, I like the loyalty.
There's a lot of great players in baseball that you can tell great stories. Ted Williams.
Yeah.
Ted Williams going back to the military.
Yeah.
They're coming back and still playing baseball. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But they were loyal to the game.
Yes.
Now it's a job. It's a business.
It is.
There's so many other people but that's football. That's basketball.
Right.
That's any other sport.
I wish we can find the balance. And don't get me wrong. I wish we could find the balance as people to say, don't get me wrong. Baseball players deserve to make money.
Sure.
And because if they didn't, then the owner would just make all the money. So we got to, hey, you know what? You need to split that money with us, right? But it seems like that because the baseball players are making money, then the owners want to make more money, and then that means it translates to us paying for higher. I wish we could lower the amount of money the owners make and the players make to then translate to cheaper seats or whatever, to have the ability to let more people maybe go and enjoy the game.
Again, enjoy it.
Yes.
And you made a perfect example the other day about the Oakland A's.
Yes.
And only having how many players?
That was the White Sox.
Oh, the White Sox.
The White Sox.
I stand correct.
Yes.
Because we talked about Oakland's last
White
game,
Sox had
they were insane.
One game with 17 people. Then they went ahead and broke that record a week later with only having 14 people in the stands.
And made them sit in the same seats.
And they were all sitting in the same seats.
They weren't allowed to go down.
Yeah. They couldn't go down and sit in the front row.
And we talked about, they still have to make all the food for all those people.
Yeah. They made it 7 hours ago.
So they
don't make hot dogs on command. They make them freaking $5 when
and you know those stadiums now, they have everything. They have brisket, they have chickens, they have whatever the hell it is that they have, nachos. They got it all going on, and everything is open. But do you think they knew prior to opening those gates?
I wondered. It said that they had 14 people in attendance, right?
But how many seats were sold?
That's why I think they did not release the number of how many tickets were sold. They said they had 40 people in attendance. I'm assuming that it's more than 14 because you have season ticket holders.
Absolutely.
So they did not start that year off with only having 14 season ticket holders. Okay, and you cannot. So the people were just season ticket holders were giving their tickets away, and still no one was going. You know what I mean?
Well, they had enough.
Yes, they just had enough.
They had enough, and
it was their if that's the correct word, the losingest season in their history. They lost 132 games.
Yeah, and then you have Oakland moving to Vegas.
Yes, and rightly so.
And
I'm okay with that.
As they should.
Yeah,
should get out of the ghetto, get out of the rat hole, get away from all of the crap that's going on that they don't want to pay. They don't want to build a new stadium. They don't want to. And I get the costs. But when they're giving you the money, and people are standing up and saying, "We want to give you this,"
I mean,
go to Vegas.
That's a California thing, and I'm glad that they lost it.
Yeah.
They lost them all. They lost basketball, hockey, baseball, and they lost football. So you know what? They had their chance of success, and they freaking.
But Vegas will fix it.
You don't have. Every city doesn't have to be a sports town.
No.
I mean, if you're not, it's okay to live your life and not want to watch sports. Go watch TV, movies, or whatever you want to watch. That's okay.
Yeah.
So give the team to a town that wants to enjoy sports.
And I grew up with the Tigers, and the Tigers were 5 hours away from where I lived. It wasn't easy just to jump in the car and drive down there, but I got to tell you, we made an adventure out of it.
Right.
When we went to the Tigers games, it was like, this is the greatest day ever.
Yeah.
We were going to go. We spent the day. We spent the night. We were home the next day, or if it was a double header, we got to do double headers. If there was a game one day and another game the next day, we got to both games because we were so excited to do that. And that is what I enjoyed about growing up in Michigan and being part of that group, watching the Tigers play. And I could never imagine myself living like we do now, like 35, 40 minutes away from the ball field, but it's hundreds of dollars to go watch the game.
That's per person. I mean, that's not your family. You have a family of 4, a family of 5.
Yeah.
It might set you back $500.
Yeah. And that's a shame. And then I remember spring training, going out to spring training in Arizona, the Cactus League, as a young kid, and spending time with my grandparents, and we would go to spring training, and basically tickets were $2, and you got to sit in the stands, and the players sat basically in the stands with you.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of milled around and visited with you, and they sat in the dugouts, but the dugouts weren't like professional dugouts. They were just basically a bench that they sat on, and you got to talk to all of them, and it wasn't expensive. Now you go, out to spring training for the Cactus League. It's the same thing as if you're going to a stadium.
Sure is.
And they don't let you see the players, and they're off over here. Well, what's so special about them now? Why can't they come out and talk to you and sign autographs? Or because they have managers that say, well, every time you sign an autograph, you should be paid for that.
Right.
Well, kiss my ass.
Well, that's why Tony Gwynn's baseball, autograph baseball, isn't worth any money, because they say that he signed too much. And it's like, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. I love that. You know, I told Ryan, I said, you know, the All-Star game has been slowly dwindling down.
Yep.
And I said, I have a way to fix the All-Star game. I can help fix it. If they want to hire me, I could fix that game in 2 years. And that is, you know, I would talk to the Players Association, but what I would do is, I would make every MLB player come to the game and sit in the stands.
Yeah.
And we could do it by teams and sections,
Yeah.
or we could just pepper them around the freaking stadium.
And it's back to Joe Schmo.
And if you didn't get voted in, you're gonna go watch the game.
Yep. And Joe Schmo's gonna sit next to you.
And you're gonna be there for the same 3 days. You're gonna have to walk around the All-Star Fan Fest. You're gonna have to do this, and you're gonna do it not because we're making you, but because you care about the game and the business.
Yeah.
It's the business of MLB. This will make the MLB business grow, which gives more money, which probably lines your pockets more, and lines the owner's pockets more. Okay, so the money keeps it to a big circle, and you will make tons of more fans, and fans will be happy.
Yeah. And that would be the same thing as if it was for the World Series.
Yeah.
And you stop and think about the
And
World Series. You got 7 games.
And Ryan, and I was talking to Ryan. Ryan's like, "Oh, you're costing them money by those seats." I says, "No, I'm not. The stadium holds 40,000 seats. There's only 750 MLB players. Boom.
Yep.
I'm taking 750 seats,
and they're already giving that to other people anyway.
Yes.
But they can't be down in the box seats.
No.
They have to be out in the regular
I
seats.
want them spread out all over.
Yeah.
I want them spread out all over. I want some of the cheap seats. I don't want them everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want them speckled out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Be
I
with
want
the people.
Be with the people.
Yeah.
You be with the people for 1 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I get it. We might need a little more security around the sections that they're at or whatever. Or, I mean, there's already enough security though. So just, you know, don't worry about it. I think you would not believe what that would do. Now, on year 1, you do this, right? And it's the same thing as last year, the attendance and everything, right? But you talk about it at the beginning, and you start showing these players all there.
Yeah.
Next year, it blows up, and you're going to do it, and now it's this big old thing. And your All-Star Fan Fest will be blown up because you have 750 MLB players walking around the Fan Fest throughout the day and the evening.
But you could also do like they have down there with Texas Live.
Yeah.
They could have an event there.
Yeah.
They could have the parking lot just like they do now. And you could even spread that over into football and in basketball. Have more participation instead of having them here. Have them be part of the people.
Yes. You know, you don't have to be so godlike.
Yeah.
Or think you're godlike. You know what I mean? And I get it. Everybody has different personalities, and some people don't like to be talked to all the time.
You know what?
And,
it's your
I mean?
job.
But this is what you are. You are in the limelight. This is what I was getting ready to say. You know, this is what your job is. You signed up for this. I'm sorry you don't think you did, but you did sign up for this when you wanted to be an entertainer.
That's right.
And that's what you are.
That's what you are.
That's what you are. You know, that's like, at the same time, I will say about entertainers like movie people, right? Please make your movies and entertain me, but don't try to influence the young people.
Yeah.
I don't care about your view. Back in the day when I was growing up, it was inappropriate for talking about who you were voting for. Please don't try to influence the young people that think Tom Cruise is really a spy on Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
He's an actor.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so stop doing that and everything
And
will be better.
influencing.
Yeah, stop trying to be an influence.
And you're not any better.
It's right.
You're not any better than me.
I know that controversial topic about shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
That's the same content.
Yeah.
You can talk about everything, but not politics and not your views on certain things. We watch you or want to watch you because you play and you're the 1% of the 1%ers of the world, and we all can appreciate that.
And we enjoy it.
Yes, and we do.
We enjoy it, and that just goes to show the interjection of umpires.
Yes.
Getting involved in it because they want to make a name for themselves. Enough of that.
That's
just
correct.
go out there and be impartial.
Yes.
Judge the game. Be the guy. Let the players do the thing. But the players, I'm going to hold out. You've got football players. Well, I'm going to hold out till I get my money, and I'm not going to go to training camp. Well, you know what? You can hold out, but you know what? You're not going to play.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah. I mean.
How about you don't show up for training camp? Everybody else did, all because you have a contract that you haven't settled. So guess what? You get to do. Sit up.
There's 500 people that started before you. There'll be 500 people after you, and so on and so on.
Yep.
We just need everybody to try to find that happy medium. I think
it would make it. It would make it a lot better.
It makes all the games more enjoyable to know that, or how about this? Do all this stuff behind the scenes and don't let the media get word of it so they can spread their news and solve your problems in your homes. Don't solve them in the limelight. I don't want to hear about it. Okay?
Well, and that's what you have, and that's what you have with the announcers.
Yes.
You have the announcers. Oh, did you know? I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. All I need to know is how they're playing.
That's it. That's that old adage, right? Bad news is good news. You know what I mean? Because bad news sells and good news doesn't. And you can flip that script if you just start only producing good news. Find something good to say about that player. Find something good to say about that person, and keep that going, and you'll probably be better off.
I absolutely agree with you. It looks like we're supposed to wind it up here. We got a guy over there doing the finger twist. So I think we're done for this evening. It's been a great time. I had a few beers, a good night.
It was.
Hey, let's like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions,
share it.
Share it with us. Let us know, because we want to talk about it.
And share our video.
This guy, that guy nation. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.